Hi there. I find that the throttle response is a bit snatchy, especially when I ride in city traffic at low speed and many start and stops. And the solution to this, according to internet and many forums on the internet, is to mount a booster plug. But I don't want to pay 1,500 Swedish crown, or in dollars it's about $150 for a device like that. That is rather simple. So I decided to make my own booster plug. The thing about booster plug is that it fools the electronic control unit that the intake air temperature is much lower than it really is. The thing that measures the intake air temperature is a Thermistor NTC, and it changes the resistance according to the air temperature, and you change that and some other thing. And here are the original intake air temperature sensor. I will show you the one that I mounted, and it's mounted in the intake air box right here. I'll show you that. As you can see, I have already removed the air filter, and if we take a line, here you can see the sensor, the new sensor, intake air temperature sensor. And the cables from this one goes to, it's hard to see here, but like this. It goes to, let's see now. It goes to this little black box that I have put strap on right here, and out from this little box the cables go to the electronic control unit. I'll give you a little bit better look at the intake air temperature sensor here, and this sensor is 10 kilo ohm, and inside this little black box, which you can't see, is a 5.6 kilo ohm resistor that is mounted in parallel with this intake air sensor, temperature sensor, I should say. And well, I think that's about it. And I haven't trying to ride a bike yet, but I will do that as soon as I can, and I give a report if there was some improvement or not. Another thing that I have changed on my bike is I bought this saddle from Hitchcock's in England, and this saddle is supposed to be mounted directly to the frame of the bike, so I did so, but you can't ride with a saddle mounted directly on the frame on a classic 500, I can tell you that. It vibrates a lot, and then I mean a very lot. So I made some changes to this saddle. Turn it over. I cut the mounting brackets off and welded this piece of flat bar here, and I found these springs on an old bicycle saddle. They are a little bit weak, so I put some rubber between the like this, and I also made these brackets you can see here, and if we turn it around, zoom in a bit, I made a new bracket here. This piece you can see here are welded to the bottom of the saddle, and between this guy here there's a rubber grommet, you can see it here, and this is the front part of the saddle, and it mounts on the same locations as the original saddle. We have a look at the original one too and compare these two. Okay, we have the original saddle here on the left and this aftermarket one here. And you can see these springs are much longer than these ones, and they are a bit stiffer too. And here you can see that it is a bit difference in the shape of the two saddles. This one is rather flat and this one is more curved form, and I like this much better than this one. This is more comfortable, and you sit on the bike a bit lower, and I like that. I like to sit in the bike, not on the bike. And let me mount this saddle on the bike and we have a look at it. I will mount the saddle on the same locations as the original one is mounted. This one and this one and this one. So no changes on the frame is needed. So this is how the saddle looks on the bike. We zoom in a little bit here. Like so. And it's very nice to sit on when I ride. Another thing I changed on this bike is I put this a little more softer handle grips on this, and it's quite nice. And another thing is this handlebar weights. I made new ones out of brass, and they are 5 millimeter longer, but the weight is 100 gram more per side. I also made a new nut to the ignition lock, as you can see here. I also made this out of brass. Another thing I will change, or maybe I should say make a new one, and that is this oil filler cap. I will make a new one out of this, a piece of brass. One thing that I don't like about this bike is that it has no charging indicator. I mean, if you're out riding and the battery dies. That's not very funny. So I come up with a solution to this problem. You see this small red LED here? I zoom in a bit. There you have it. And the function of this small LED is somewhat reversed than an ordinary indicator lamp. So when the alternator is charging, the red LED lights up. So that's the reversed function of it. Let's start the bike and see how it looks. Okay, you see what I mean? So now I have control of the charging on the bike. That's nice. And the components for this consists of one diode, one center diode, one resistor, and the red LED. That's all. And all the electronic components are hiding in the headlamp house. So that's it. An easy solution to this problem. Well, this is another day. In fact, it's the day after yesterday, so to speak. I have been testing this homemade booster plug device, and I've been riding now, and I've been riding about 90 kilometers, and I've been riding in city traffic, highway traffic, and in small roads too. And what can I say? Well, that snatchy throttle response are in fact gone. One thing more that is gone is the popping from the exhaust that I hear from time to time. So, what can I say? This is a complete success, I think. And at a very low cost. I have calculated the cost for this, and it is 65 Swedish crown, or around $8 for this conversion. And if you compare that to buying a booster plug from Denmark, which costs 1,500 crowns, that's a big difference. And I think the result is the same, in fact. So I can say I'm very, very pleased with this homemade booster plug. Make one and you'll be pleased too. Well, that's about all I had to say about this, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.